Susan Page, Washington Bureau Chief of USA Today, and this is Capitol Download. We're on Capitol Hill in the offices of Senator Tom Coburn, Republican of Oklahoma. Thanks so much for being with us.
Good to be with you.
President Obama on Friday is expected to announce the executive order on immigration. What will the Republican reaction be here?
Oh, I don't think it's so much the Republican reaction here. The country's going to go nuts because they're going to see it as a move outside of the authority of the president. And it's going to be a very dangerous situation. You're going to see, hopefully not, but you could see instances of anarchy.
What do you mean?
Well, you could see violence. You know, this is a big step to not work with Congress, now that he's got a new Congress, to go completely around it and to do things that, a lot of legal debate on both sides of whether or not he has the power to do that. But what our country needs now is to be pulled together, not divided further. And I think it's a terrible political mistake to divide us now further. I agree we need to solve the immigration problem, but I think the way you do that is force a consensus, not just my way or the highway. And so the president has said, I've given you enough time, I'm not waiting anymore, I'm going to do this. He's going to get challenged in court. He's probably going to lose in court, but it's going to be a couple of years down the road. But what he's going to do is do great harm to his ability to work with this new Congress. And he's also going to divide the American people. If you look at the polling of the American people, they want us to solve this problem, but they don't want it solved by an executive order. And we have enough trouble right now in our country in the process of Congress not having work, and now we're deciding we're going to have an autocratic leader that's going to disregard what the Constitution says and make law anyway. And so instead of the rule of law handling in our country today, now we're starting to have the rule of rulers. And that's a total antithesis to what this country was founded on. And so I think it's a very dangerous move for us, both in terms of civil disobedience. I think it's a very dangerous move in terms of confidence for the future of our country and to be able to accomplish other things that will need to be accomplished over the next 2 years. And so my advice, they don't ask it anymore, my advice would be, don't do this. Give the new Congress a chance to work.
And when you talk about civil disobedience or violence, I don't understand what exactly you're talking about that you fear might happen as a result.
Well, here's how people think. Well, if the law doesn't apply to the president, and it's not affirmatively acted on for us as a group, like you're seeing in Ferguson, Missouri, then why should it apply to me?
You came into the Senate in the class with Barack Obama, coming in from Illinois, and I understand that you two became pretty good friends.
Yeah, I really like the guy. I mean, he's a very interesting individual. I thought he was neat. I think Michelle's a neat lady. We got to know each other during orientation. We weren't close friends, but we were acquaintances, which is pretty good for Democrat, Republican.
How do you think he's doing?
Oh, I don't think well right now, as far as the country is concerned. I don't think he's doing well, especially internationally, in terms of the recognition. I think he can do well. I think he has great opportunity. If he were to truly reach out to compromise and reconcile on big problems in front of this country and pull people together, we'd accomplish a lot. We can fix the immigration. We could certainly reestablish some of our foreign policy plans. We could start working on the real structural problems associated with our deficit, because it requires divided government to do that. He could be a hero, and he could do that. But he's also an ideologue, and ideologues have a difficult time compromising. He has the skills to pull us together, and the question is, will he? And that, if I were to in his office, I'd say, if you want to have a successful second term, dig down, swallow your pride, get what you can get, compromise on everything you can for the best interest of the country. Bring us back together. I mean, I can see it. We're disintegrating as a fabric, as a nation. in front of my eyes, from both generational to racial to intellectual to financial. It's coming apart. And we need leaders that pull us together. And politics makes it worse because we exaggerate the differences.
You've been battling cancer. How are you doing?
Good.
And what do you plan to do once you leave the Senate?
I plan to hopefully be more effective than I've been in the Senate. That's one of the reasons I'm leaving. I think this place needs a lot of pressure put on it to do the right thing. I want an Article 5 convention to force a balanced budget. What happens right now, Susan, is people won't make hard choices because they're not made to. But if we had a balanced budget amendment, a politician could go home and say, yes, this is what I chose to cut because we have a balanced budget amendment. The Constitution said we have to live within our means, and I chose to cut this. Now they won't cut anything because they don't have to. And so we need that. We need term limits. We need more people who are not career politicians in the business of representing us. It doesn't mean career politicians are bad. They're honorable people. But basically, they have very limited exposure to the rest of the aspects of life. And we need what our founders originally intended. We need people with real experience to come up here, serve a period of time, go back home and live under the laws that they helped create.
Senator Tom Coburn, thanks so much for joining us on Capitol Download.